Hello, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If you're new, I'm so glad you joined me. My name is Julia, and this is my channel. Today I wanted to do a little bit of a chill video, hence the space we're in. A little bit of a Reddit reaction, specifically Am I the Asshole? But like everything on my channel, specifically all of the stories I chose are centered around this community. So, I'm really excited and I think we should just get into it. So grab your tea and let's dive in. Alright, so part of why I thought this would be interesting is because obviously I'm sure some of the people responding to these are queer themselves, maybe most of them are, but maybe not. And I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I've had instances where there's issues that all of the queer people in my life agree on like one perspective, and then all of those who are not have a slightly different perspective. And I thought it'd be interesting to see if I kind of agree with what the overall like ranking or like outcome of these was based off of my experiences. Okay, so this one I do not disagree with based on the title. I selected this one because I think it could bring up some good things to like talk about and some educational things or anything of the sort. So this one is, am I the asshole for telling my roommate to stop calling my brother the F slur? From the title, no, you are definitely not the asshole. No one, correction, I'm not gonna say no one should use that. No one who is not part of the community, I personally think, should use that word. I don't use it in general, but I completely understand other people who decided to reclaim it in one way or another, and more power to you. Okay. I, 25 female, was raised in a conservative and religious Christian household. Oh no. Due to this, for a while I held the belief that it was wrong to be gay. It was not until I made friends with Ryan in high school, who is openly gay, that I learned the things that my parents had taught me were wrong, and I was able to come to terms with the fact that not only was it okay to be gay, but I was also bisexual. Hello, fellow bisexual lovely. Anyways, since I experienced this, I've tried my best to inform my siblings, who are quite a bit younger than me, that my parents' beliefs are homophobic, and create a safe environment for them to openly discuss and explore their sexualities if they feel they need to. Yes, 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 yes. This is so important, and I've tried to do the same thing. Luckily, I do not have like a religious or intolerant like household very much, like at all, but there's definitely sometimes things, and even no matter what, I think it's so important as an ally, and especially as part of the community, if you have like siblings or people around you, to create that safe space and to teach, in the sense of like being open can help people know that they can be open if it's a situation like this. It also allows to like undo some stuff, like she said. I will be very honest in an age-appropriate way if any of my siblings ask me about like any of my stuff. Obviously I have flags and stuff all over, I always have. And so like I do that purposefully so they can ask me about it, and so they know. And I think it's a really smart and awesome way to go about it if you can do that, because it can teach them from little and maybe avoid them having to go through some of the stuff a lot of us had to go through. I think it's super awesome that she's doing that. Recently, my younger brother Dylan, 17 male, was kicked out of the house after our younger sister Laura outed him to my parents after finding out at school that he was gay. Oh, I wanted to give Dylan a hug. Dylan has since moved in with me, and things have been mostly great. Ryan, 25 male, and I have been great friends since high school and have lived together ever since we graduated. Oh, so this isn't even, this is, I see where this is going, I think. Because this isn't even like a homophobic roommate or anything like that calling the brother the F slur. I kind of see where this is going. Oh, this probably gets a little bit complicated. Here's where we find ourselves in a bit of a dilemma. Dylan is extremely insecure about his sexuality, and the way that our parents found out and reacted has not helped with that at all, and has caused him to fall into a mild depression, which I am doing my best to support him through. The sister seems amazing. Ryan and his partner Jacob both frequently refer to themselves and others as the F slur. This does not bother me at all, as they are both gay men who have been deeply hurt by the word in the past, and I completely support and understand their desire to reclaim this word. Yes, like I said, I completely understand that. Recently, however, they have been directing this word at Dylan. Although their intention is not malicious at all, it really hit a sore spot with him, so he approached me and asked me to bring it up with them, as he does not feel confident or comfortable enough to do it himself. Understandable, and I think this is a very fine line, because I completely understand, especially in a situation like this when you've been hurt from the word, reclaiming it, but not everybody has a desire to do that. I think it's the same with the word queer. I will use queer as an umbrella term very often, I'm sure. It's been noticed, and to refer to myself a lot. However, if I know that is a derogatory term for a lot of like older LGBTQ plus people, and so I know that maybe that like reclamation isn't okay, and I know there's some people who are still like uncomfortable with it, and I think you have to be mindful of that. We can reclaim words, but clearly there is an origin of that word that is hurtful, and so to some people it's still gonna have that original meaning, because not everybody sees it as reclaimed. And especially a situation like this, like I wouldn't be surprised if in that whole being kicked out process, one or both of his parents called him that slur. So of course it's gonna be like triggering and a problem to be called it. And I think like as much as we have to respect people wanting to reclaim slurs, we have to respect other people not wanting it. I still don't think OP is the asshole in this situation. A couple nights ago, Dylan stayed the night with a close friend of his, so I took the opportunity to bring up the issue with Ryan and Jacob. I asked if they could possibly refrain from using the word around Dylan, or at least not direct the word at him, as it negatively affects his mental health. Jacob immediately apologized and said he'd make an effort to stop around Dylan. Yes, Jacob. 10 out of 10 stars. Ryan, however, told me that he would not stop, and that if Dylan has a problem with it, he can go and live somewhere else. Dylan. You would think of all people, you would understand that this kid has nowhere else to go. Like, he can live somewhere else. Where is he gonna go? His parents kicked him out. That's why he's living with you. Oh my goodness. How old are you? I don't know how old. Oh no, it's Ryan that's the problem. Ryan, you are 25. You are 25. This kid is 17 and got kicked out because he was gay. He has nowhere else to go, and you're making him uncomfortable. Like, your roommate gets it. Your boyfriend gets it. Get a 3 head, please. Please. Because I don't think there's any justification here for continuing to use it directed at him. Like, I can't think of any reason that would make that justifiable or okay. He also accused me of being homophobic for even bringing it up. No. He believes that I should have told Dylan to grow up and get over it. When Dylan came home the next day, Ryan blew up on him and called him the F slur several times. I quickly packed up Dylan's things, and he's currently staying with my girlfriend until I can organize some other housing for him. Ryan, you were called this slur in a derogatory way. Clearly, you were hurt by it. you were hurt by homophobic people. What in your right mind then prompts you to go and be hurtful? And I get it. Hurt people hurt people. But this is a kid who is struggling as it is. Get your head out of your ass. Apologize to your roommate. Apologize to her brother. Because this is fucking ridiculous. Blowing up at a 17-year-old kid because he was uncomfortable with a word that has, like, that is at the end of the day a slur. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Ryan? Oh my god, I'm so mad. Oh, I want to give Dylan a hug even more. Also, I love that she has a girlfriend and that the girlfriend is taking the brother in. Justin, Ryan's boyfriend, you get a 10 out of 10 on loveliness. OP, 10 out of 10 for loveliness, for taking your brother and being supportive. Girlfriend, 10 out of 10. Ryan, negative 10 out of 10. You fail at being supportive and accommodating and kind. And honestly, your roommate is not being homophobic. You are. Oh my god. Ryan is refusing to speak to me and is insisting that I am in the wrong and must hate gay men for suggesting that he not use the word around my brother. Jacob and my girlfriend both agree that my request was not unreasonable. However, Ryan's response has caused me to question it. So am I the asshole? No, sweetie. No, you are not. There is an update, and I swear I'm gonna lose my crap if Ryan is still being a dick. Thanks I need a sip of water. I'm getting flustered. I'm getting flustered. Also, can we look at how absolutely adorable and perfect my mug is for this show? I saw it and I had to have it. It's so perfect and it gives me joy, which I need because Ryan, you're pissing me off. Update, thanks everyone for your support and opinions. It's been close to a month since my original post and I honestly wasn't going to post an update on the situation. However, I noticed someone asked for one. So here's a little update for anyone curious about what's happening. Many of you suggested that Jacob try to talk some sense into Ryan. I reached out to Jacob and he told me that he had actually already spoken to him about the situation. He invited Dylan, my girlfriend Emma, and I out to dinner where Ryan apologized to both Dylan and I for his behavior. Thank you for being an adult. Took you long enough. Dylan told Ryan that he appreciates his apology, however, he did not forgive him. Fair enough, he does not have to forgive him. Ryan was being a royal dick, homophobic himself a little bit there, and hurtful, and I get it. We all have some stuff that we have to work through, and hurt people, and clearly there was still some like hurt from the past probably that Ryan was working through, but that does not mean that Dylan has to forgive him. Understandable. His mental health has suffered greatly from this situation, and he did not feel like he could trust Ryan enough to not repeat this behavior again in the future. Fair enough. He can, acknowledge the apology and accept it, but it doesn't mean he has to forgive him. You can forgive and not forget, and especially you have to protect yourself, and if you really don't trust it for now, then you don't trust it for now. I've decided that the best thing to do is to distance myself from Ryan completely. Although it has been hard for me to lose such a close friend, my brother's well-being ultimately has to come first. Shortly after Ryan kicked Dylan out of our apartment, I moved in with Emma. Dylan is also living with us in the basement of Emma's house. He's doing so much better and is definitely benefiting from being around queer people who are more welcoming than Ryan was. He has very quickly began to embrace and celebrate his identity as a gay man and actually has a date with the brother of a friend of mine next week. Queer joy brings me so much happiness. Yes. And you, Emma and OP together. and the brother, and it's just a happy little gay house. Oh, I'm so glad there was an update. I'm so glad. I'm still slightly mad at Ryan. I don't care that he apologized. I think this was the best outcome. And I'm so happy for the brother. I am so proud of how maturely and bravely he's worked through this situation. Jacob and I have remained friends, and the last I heard, he and Ryan had broken up. Honestly, yeah. I sincerely hope that Ryan can mature so that in time we may be able to be friends again. Yes, I do think Ryan can grow. I think he has some stuff that he needs to work on, and yeah, some maturing to do. You were a 25-year-old going off on a 17-year-old. No. Although his recent behavior is appalling, he was a good friend for a long time. Hopefully this answered any questions anyone had. Thank you for the update, OP. I am so glad to see things have turned around. I am sending all of the good vibes to you, your girlfriend, Dylan, and Jacob, which I know you said those are fake names, but still. Sending so much love to all of you guys on the off chance that you guys see this. You were definitely not the asshole as you were confirmed here. I completely agree. This is amazing. So glad this ended well. Please remember that you can reclaim words and not everyone has to, and it's completely understandable to just be respectful, and it's not that hard. Alright, moving on to the next story. I'm so glad that one turned around in the update. I feel like I can breathe. Okay, one more before we wrap it up. And this one is, am I the asshole for being mad at my parents for missing my birthday because my trans sibling's appointment? I just turned 17, male, and I have an 18-year-old FDM brother. Okay. He's going through the steps of having bottom surgery and all the different treatments. I don't exactly know the names. My parents and him had to fly out to meet some doctors, and they had to go during my birthday. Because I am 17, they let me stay home alone. The problem was it was my birthday, and I was really hoping to be with family. I ended up blowing out candles alone on a crappy cookie cake and started crying. I felt so lonely and wanted to be with my family. Lately, I've been put on the back burner because of my brother. They all got back 2 days later, and all my brother could talk about was himself. It was so frustrating for me. Even during my makeup birthday dinner, they talked about the trip. I got up after dinner and asked if we could talk about something else. I said I was pissed they couldn't celebrate on my actual birthday, and I told them this. My parents said I'm being unbelievably selfish for saying this, and my brother was hurt. Am I the asshole? This is hard. I don't think you're the asshole. I will caveat that I don't think that your parents or your brother are either. And so I'm not trans, and I'm not going to presume I know everything about this. But I am a sibling, and I know I care about my siblings a lot, and it's tricky, especially with something like your birthday. Like that's one of the few times it's like, okay, even if I don't usually ask for attention, can I please get some attention now? I understand being upset, and I think you're completely valid in expressing that, especially for me, mostly during that like second part. During your makeup dinner, that was your makeup birthday dinner. That was like when you get to celebrate, and you're allowed to be upset that like even then the focus wasn't on you. Like I said, I also don't think that your parents are necessarily, I mean, I think them calling you selfish is a little bit of an asshole move on their part. And as far as your brother being hurt, he probably didn't mean to hurt you, would be my assumption. I've heard several trans people kind of talk about this time in their transition, and it does feel all-consuming, and so I understand the excitement, and I'm sure that the intention was not to harm you, which is why I don't think the brother's really an asshole either. I think it's just a kind of crappy situation. Honestly, if I were to blame anyone, it would probably be your parents. They could have figured out a way to like FaceTime you on your birthday and sing happy birthday or something like that. It's hard, but I'm sorry you had to go through that, and I'm happy to hear that your brother is in a family that he can be himself with and transition. And it's just kind of crappy timing that it overlapped like that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I would love to hear you guys' opinions, so please put them down in the comments. A lot of these were not nearly as cut and dry as I expected them to be, though I don't know why I expected them to be, because nothing's black and white. But I hope you all are happy and healthy and safe. Goodbye.